Howdy y'all, got the Bulldog on the channel. This isn't a rant video where I'm mad, bad, and pissed off about something. It's just something that came up today and I thought I'd talk on it a little bit. It's, those situations that come up, and I'm no different, where you end up short of money. You can't pay the bill. We called up a customer today. Let him know that his vehicle was done, and he kind of, we had given him an estimate, and it was close. It wasn't like we did the double or something like that. We ran into a couple other things, and he understood exactly what it was all, and he didn't quibble about the price or nothing, but he didn't have the money. And he says, I don't have it. Can I pay you later? I said, yeah, that's fine. We have to hold on to the vehicle till then. Oh, that's fine. I understand that. That situation, while undesirable, is acceptable because we know that ahead of time what to expect. It would have been better if we had found this out before we ordered hundreds of dollars in parts, but we have a reserve fund now that my boss started keeping to deal with times like this. Mainly it's to pay the taxes at the end of the year, but it gets us through these times when we might have be waiting for a few days on a project, and this happens. You get a big expense come up and you thought you were going to be able to afford something, and you can't. Well, this is going to work out. No scared deal or anything like that. What has happened in the past, these are the ones that bother us, and you get two different types of people that do them. The first person, they come in, their ride drops them off, and their ride leaves. Then they come in here and they tell you, oh, I don't have the money right now. I'll get it to you, within a day or so. Because maybe they were at a different place, they didn't expect it to be done right then, or there's several different reasons for it, but they don't have their checkbook on them, they don't have their wallet on them, they don't have an ability to pay right then. Most of the time we know those people, we know they're going to be in to pay it. Every once in a while there's one that, yeah, he's going to pay it, but he's kind of going to do that on his own time, which might be a while. And if we got like a payment due in 2 days, his bill's going to have to get paid before we can make our payment. That's where it gets scary. That happened years ago, over and over again. The margins were running close all the time. It's not as bad as it used to be. It can build up that way. We can very easily have $4,000 and $5,000 in unpaid, completed vehicles sitting in the back, locked up, waiting for people to come pay. That's not good for, a two-man shop, because that's a lot. So, it's undesirable. But at least when it's those people, they're, you know who they are because it's happened before with them. Yeah, I know you'll pay, and try to be understanding. Then there's the other person. Maybe they've been in once before, sometimes twice. Rarely is it a first-time customer. It has been before, back when we were a lot more trusting of the general public. But that's what they would do, is they'd have their ride drop them off, their ride would leave, and they'd come in and they'd say, oh, well, I don't have the money right now, and this, that, and the other, want to take their vehicle. And if you say no, Well, I don't have a ride. And you gotta figure that they've set this up because they made their ride leave. Their ride didn't wait to see if everything was okay. Well, there's a lot of times where, people will wait until they come back out of the building and get in their own vehicle before their ride leaves. It's just, that's how a lot of people, a lot of our regular customers do things. Everything can happen. But, yeah, that probably, if that second scenario happens, if we were to let that vehicle leave, 9 in 10 of them would never come back. We've lost thousands, and I do mean thousands. A couple $300 at a time, because you want to be understanding. You don't want to be all that hard nosed, but an owner of a business just about has to be that way. There's been several over the years that they never intend to pay. They'll get in their vehicle and they'll leave, and that's the last you're going to see of them unless they have trouble. And then they're coming back yelling at you about some problem. That happened to somebody. I remember. He promised to pay. Called him. Well, he had a problem. Something wrong with his car. He come over here thinking it was going to be related to what we did. Pulled it in the building, pulled the door shut, locked it. Looked at it. Nothing to do with what we did. It was just because his vehicle was, sculpted cow patty. And then he was, oh, well, we'll start working on it as soon as that other bill is paid. And then you can pick up your vehicle when this bill is paid. Well, it wasn't a huge amount that he owed. And eventually, my boss just opened up the door, let him go, figuring I'll never have to deal with him again. And he was right. He never came back. The biggest that I remember was like a $1,500 job. And it was a local, he was a business owner. I thought that there was no way he would soil his own reputation doing something like that. And he wrote us a check on a closed account. And that's when we found out that them bad checks that they talk about, you have to have an honest prosecutor that will say, hey, we're going to do something about this because this is a felony. In the county that we work, they won't even answer the phone trying to call them in on a bad check, no matter what size the check is. That's why a lot of places don't take checks anymore. Too many bad checks and not enough willingness by law enforcement to pursue it, and make people own up to their responsibility. That's why so many of them, they'll just refer it to a collection agency, get half of it, and not deal with it ever again. But we've had others in the past that promised to pay and they were mad or something like that, and when they calm down, they kind of, twist their arm a little bit, see them locally here, there, and yonder, and they come in and pay a little bit until they're paid off. That's the kind of things that where you have a misunderstanding, but it's not really a misunderstanding because they told you exactly what they wanted. And when they got exactly what they wanted, for instance, the job that came in, and He said, just fix it. Just fix it. I don't want a freaking phone call every 3 or 4 hours and me having to stop and answer the phone. Just fix it. Okay? Fix the vehicle. He come pick it up. Man, what's a lot of money to put in that? Well, we fixed it. And he looked. Well, all these parts here, all you had to do was call me. I had one of them sitting out behind the shed. Actual scenario that has happened to us. So you just kind of let that slide, you know. Oh well, it happens. But I just wanted to sit down and talk about stuff like that. You know, some of the business owners out there that, you know, just hand out cash in hand or you're not getting it. Most of them have become that way. They didn't start out that way. You know, you lose a few $1,000s and get put over a barrel a few times, you become pretty hard-nosed. It drains the charity right out of you. So, just figured I'd get on here and talk a little bit. I have some extra time. I got a bunch of stuff done today that needed to go, and the 2 jobs that are waiting out there are going to be involved, and I don't want to get started on them because I'm going to have to be gone for a couple days for some family stuff. So I sat down. I put all my tools away. I sat down. I made a video. I'm going to schedule this to be released tomorrow, and we'll see what else I come up with over the weekend. I've got a bunch of stuff to work on at home, and I got some parts to put one together that I'm actually filming with my other camera, and hopefully I will learn how to edit. I've never stopped to turn the computer on. It's just how things have been going. I get home and I just sit down and zone out for a while. So hopefully I'll get more content, better content, longer videos of actual work rather than just me talking. Unless you really like me talking, let me know, because I don't get much feedback. Just box down there. But like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification. You know, subscribing's free, helps the algorithm out. Every interaction, you know, promotes the videos. So we'll talk at you later.